Hey everybody, this is Taz. Welcome back to Taz's Wig Closet at Wig Studio One. Today I have an unboxing for you of the Belle Tress's Rosella in the brand new Rootbeer Float Blonde. And I have featured this style before in several reviews, however not in this color. So a couple of things. I want to see what Rosella looks like right out of the box, and I want to check to see if this color is consistent with my other pieces in Rootbeer Float Blonde. Coming up. I purchased the featured wig styles with my own funds. You can find them at Wig Studio One. If you go below the video, drop down the description box. I'll attach product links there. Click on those links. It'll take you directly to each of these styles so that you can look at all the colors and the pricing. We invite you to shop at Wig Studio One. If you have any questions for us, please reach out to support@wigstudio1.com. Rosella is a long beach wave style. I absolutely adore the style itself. The problem with Rosella was, when I had my first one, was that there was no contour around the front, and the front pieces just kind of wanted to flop in the face. So I know that Belle Tress has been trying to create some contour at the front. Some pieces have it, some pieces don't. So if you are a fan of this style, you can always put in a little lift and contour. But I'm just curious what this is like right out of the box. So this is Rosella. You're getting the first glimpse right along with me here in the color Rootbeer Float Blonde. Exactly what you would expect. All the packaging. Net. The innards, as I try to describe them. Little silicone pack to keep the moisture out of the box. The tag, everything matches. It looks like it has a weave pattern there. So this is the Rootbeer Float Blonde. Already I can tell that it is on par with the other Rootbeer Float Blonde that I reviewed on Caliente. So this color is absolutely gorgeous. I am really loving it. It is an extreme ash tone. So you're going to find a light ash brown, and that's going to be highlighted with more of a neutral pale wheat blonde and then some ash platinum. There's obviously quite a bit of that highlight in there. So this is a light ash tone blonde, and then it has a root. So it looks like that's more of a medium root, but it is ash in tone. It seems to transition very well, doesn't it? Okay. So you know me, I'm all about giving it some really nice shakes. I'm not whipping it in circles as if to create tangles, but just really just shaking it out, waking up those fibers. Okay, so with Belle Tress, I typically have to adjust their cap very significantly to get a secure fit for a petite average circumference. So these are bra strap type adjusters, and I cinch them in as far as they can go. Now that does create a little bit of gathering on the cap. Typically it is not noticeable unless it's a shorter, more straight style that can show every lump and bump. Curlier styles, not so much. So I made my typical adjustment here. Now while I have this cap open for you, Rosella has a temple to temple lace front and left monofilament part assembly here. It does not extend, but it looks very nicely done. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove the tags. I just hate to be stifled by tags. Now I suggest leaving the tags attached to the wig style. And don't do any severe manipulation to the wig. Don't brush out the part. Don't manipulate it too much if you plan to return it. So I plan on keeping my Rosella. Okay. And then sometimes with a wide tooth comb and just sometimes with my fingers, I just go in, And at the root, just gently pull. This separates it from the cap, wakes it up, like I like to say. I'm trying to just work that part a little bit, separating it out. Like I say, sometimes I'll use a wide tooth comb, sometimes just my fingers. Wow, look how beautiful that is though, just without applying it, just giving it a few shakes. It's a fluffy curl pattern. This is much fluffier and separated compared to the one that I have in the mocha with cream from a few years back. So, okay, I think it's time to go ahead and apply it and see what we got here. Camera is not an ideal mirror, but it's the best I have in this setup. Okay. Okay, it's really beautiful. I especially love that fluffy curl pattern, like I said. And of course, this color. And I can report that right out of the box with application, there's absolutely no contour or lift. So if that is something that I'm going to want to do, I am going to have to use, and these longer sides, these sides are 12 inches long. So I know that that's just going to be too much weight for me to get any kind of effectiveness just from the heat of my hand. So I'm really going to have to use the heat appliance, I think, to build in any contour. Now I'm starting to get away from steam. Steam just doesn't give me the desired effect as well as a hair dryer. So what I'll do is I'll take the front piece here, pull it straight up. Okay, and the first thing I'm going to do is pass a hair dryer on both sides of that, okay, at the root area. And that's just going to sort of redirection that root up and out instead of flat and down, okay? And then I'll just take some passes, how much ever it takes. And then what I do is I just manage to do a little bit of a contour here. And then I'll pass right there at the front, right around the lace front root area. I'll pass the heat and hopefully get a little bit of lift and contour. But you can easily see this is going to be a little stubborn. I can tell right away that if I'm going to want lift, it's going to take me a little bit of time. So Rosella, right around 12 inches, as I said, here in the front. So that front layer is very long, yet it is wavy, which I really like. So when it's wavy like that, it really doesn't drag the face down as much as if it were straight and at that length. I really love the little piecey wave around the face because guess what? That's going to deliver beautiful updos. And I have done this with my other Rosella on camera before, but I really love Rosella makes the most beautiful little messy bun updos, just gorgeous. And so overall, right around 19 inches on Rosella. I will mention that I feel like this particular piece has more density and permatease than the Rosella that I had before. Not thick, heavy, pillowy permatease. You'll never get that with a Belle Tress style. But it is a little bit more than what I expected. And that could be what is delivering some of this fluffiness and volume that I'm really loving. I don't have a weight measurement on this, but I would say probably around 5.5 ounces, 5.5 to 6 is what my guess would be. So many of you are going to love this front though, because even though there's no contour there, from that left to right sweep on this piece, there's a bit of curl, a smoother type curl that naturally takes it over the eyebrow and back into the style, so it's not flopping. Now that is a little different than the first one too, because the first one, if you didn't have contour in it at the front, it definitely would have flopped in the face. But this one, I feel like even if you wanted to leave it down, because not everybody is a fan of that lift and height and contour, I think it would generally stay out of the face for you. So it's a little smoother until you get about, you know, a third of the way down, and then it breaks out into the beachy, California beachy wave type curl. It's just a shattered spiral. It's been taken down on the ends. That's what gives it just that absolutely gorgeous bohemian kind of casual look. All right, so let me grab the Belle Tress Caliente in Root Beer Float Blonde, and I have reviewed this one before. And the reason I'm bringing it out is just to kind of demo the color. I think the color is very consistent. Now, sometimes I catch things in editing that I cannot pick up by looking at the camera, but everything seems to be pretty consistent, don't you think? Oh yeah, I'm really happy because when I first pulled this one out of the box, I thought, wow, that is a surprise, because I was expecting a warmer tone blonde. Root Beer Float Blonde just gave me, and the color swatch just gave me kind of a feeling that it was going to have a little bit of warmth to it. I did not expect that it would be ashier in tone than Butterbeer Blonde, which is my favorite. Butterbeer Blonde is actually a little more neutral, and as this one is ashy. But yes, I definitely see consistency here for sure. You know, even in the root area. So that's also good news, because I was so afraid that if I reviewed this and the next one turned out to be a little warmer in tone, you know, I would feel terrible about that. Of course, there wouldn't be anything I can do. I only can report on the piece that I have. But I'm glad to know that this color is consistent. So I'm going to go ahead and do some styling here just to kind of mess around with it. Nothing too elaborate. In fact, if I wanted to do an more elaborate type updo with Rosella, I would probably remove it, place the head on a blockhead with some T-pins, set about doing my style, and then reapplying it. And that's just nothing that I have patience for, to be honest with you. And I really just want to get the point across about the density, the volume, the movement, how it reacts to styling. Those are the points that I like to make in my styling segments. So let's go ahead and I'll just mess around with this hair and give you an idea of what you can expect from this newest generation of Rosella. Everybody have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon again on TAZS's Wig Closet at Wig Studio One.